What's up, social media world? It's Chris, your favorite host. It's been a while since I did one of these things. I know you're thinking I might not be your favorite, but it's okay. If you don't have one, let it be me. I'd like to volunteer for that. Your favorite coach, your favorite host, used to be your favorite realtor, amongst other things. Now I'm your favorite author. It's good to be here. So I'm here with Shari and Tom, and they've got a great event coming up. Now, these are juggernauts in the industry, and they're bringing great events for real estate people. And if you know anything about my history, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. So I figured I wanted to talk to them about it and see what's going on. Yay, Shari and Tom. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. And by the way, that's my line. It's Shari Roberts, your favorite realtor. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, it's okay. But you know, I've had that. I've had that domain since 2014.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Yep. And then Kelly, I gave it to Kelly when I started working with Kelly when she was brand new. But it's okay. We can all be someone's favorite, right? When I called FSBOs, I used to tell them that, I used to introduce myself because you had to introduce yourself as a realtor, and I say, hey, it's your favorite realtor. And it's a little bit of a pattern interrupt. And they're like, hey, wait, my favorite, I don't have a favorite. And I'm like, you don't? I'm in luck. No competition here. Let's go. So thanks for popping on, guys. I know it's in typical spontaneous fashion, and I am remote here. I might have dogs barking in the background and everything. My house is upside down, so I'm staying elsewhere, doing construction. So tell us what inspired, we talked a little offline, Tom, and I know that Shari is super passionate about these events. What inspired you guys to start this event, to bring it?
Well, I've been in the business 28 years, and what I've seen is a lot of real estate agents, mortgage people, title people, what ends up happening is they get into the industry and they got such great talent and everything else, and they just end up under the wrong umbrella of leadership. And then a couple of years ago, I was at a mastermind with some very high-minded individuals, and they said, if you want to grow, help others grow. And I said, holy cow, I have all this talent and all this wisdom and all this knowledge of what I've experienced, what I've failed at. And here's what I know. The number one problem we have in the real estate, mortgage, and title industry right now isn't a problem of business. It's a problem of simplifying the processes. We're always overcomplicating and looking for new ideas. So when I came up with the idea of breakthrough, we all need a breakthrough to get to the next level. And I thought, wow, this is what the agents need right now. We're having a shifting market. They need a breakthrough in their mindset. They need a breakthrough in their habits, and they need a breakthrough in their discipline daily. So, and that's when we came up.
I like how you say simplified, and it's funny because we used to have a series of classes that we taught called The New Stuff. And the reason why it was called The New Stuff is because everyone says, when are you going to show us when are you going to teach us the new stuff? And I'm like, when you start doing the old stuff, right? I mean, no matter how much technology, how much new stuff there is out there, it comes down to person to person having conversations. Humans still want to deal with humans. And I love that. I particularly about real estate. It's one of the last businesses out there where people really want the security of dealing with the person. So that, yeah, keeping it simple. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. So was there a point where you said, this thing is really needed? Like where you saw a gap in the market and you realized that this event needed to exist?
Yeah. So in 2013, I got into leadership. So I sold my real estate business and built a Keller Williams office from like 30 agents to 220 agents in a couple year period of span. And what I started seeing was no matter how much training and education you have, if you don't have the right people training and leading, they're not going to implement. And then as I got into coaching, I'm like, all right, so I'm coaching these amazing individuals and they're having challenges with their team members. They got to lead by example, number one. So that's where I thought, wow, there's an amazing opportunity to breakthrough. Don't do as I tell you, do as I do, right? Lead by example. So when I seen that our real estate market was getting broken with these Zillows, Realtor.coms, do this, post this ad, post that ad, but the simple basics never change. And you had mentioned for sale by owners. There's for sale by owner opportunities everywhere. Just have a conversation. Don't try to manipulate their mindset. Just, hey, tell me about the property. I'd love an opportunity to learn more. Oh my gosh, what made you do it on your own? I want to say, oh my gosh, you're just like everyone else I used to work with. I know what you feel, felt, found, right? Feel, felt, found. It's simple. And stop overcomplicating it. When I'm coaching someone, it's the same thing. You know, integrity means do the things that you say you're going to do to get the result that you want.
Yeah, follow through with your word, right?
Follow through. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what so the theme for this event is like health and wellness, right? Shari, I think you were telling me that it's I guess it starts with the whole person being good in order to be able to go out there and not overcomplicate things. What challenges have you seen in that health and wellness space with the real estate community?
So there's so many things, and this is what I love about Tom and Billy. They're into treating, coaching the entire person, and they are both heavily into fitness and eating well, nutrition, and athleticism, as am I. I say my muscles are just for show. They're not for use. But, I align with that also. And you can't just work. And I also find that there's a lot of things that hold people back. Imposter syndrome, confidence, fear of failure. It's a whole mental thing. And being out there and helping the general public and advancing them, either the agent, the broker, the person who's doing this to the next level, but being able to help their customers fearlessly. And then why not get more business from it? Why not come from a place of giving and be a fantastic realtor, mortgage broker, whatever it is that you do, but then also helping them make them stronger and defeat the things inside themselves that might be holding them back. Sure. And that's when I heard that Tom and Billy do that. I'm like, oh my God, that's what I love. And the other part of this, the funnest thing, my master's is in English, the funnest thing is when you get everyone into a room, and I know Tom and Billy love this too, and you just sit back and watch everybody meet each other. Because I know in my own coaching, what I do is I know that this person needs to meet that person, and they're each going to help one another. And when they meet, the sparks fly. I always say that the roof is going to get blown off with all these people in the same room, because they have so much to give one another. And at the end of these events, for big, small, even just coffees, they're always like, oh my gosh, Shari, I saw myself in that person. I could be that person. And I'm like, of course you can. I've been telling you that. But the fact that they can see it and learn it for themselves, you can't buy that.
You can't. It's something that needs to be experienced. And I think there's a little bit of it's kind of like a hustle world we're in, and there's a little bit of a misconception around what wellness is and what health and wellness is. And I really appreciate that you guys are addressing the whole human, because I think in our highly structured, efficient business lives, we've scheduled away all of the time for ourselves, all the time to make sure that we're good, that we've got everything that we need in order to bring what we have to give to the world at a high level. And what do you think the biggest misconception around wellness is?
Go ahead.
I think the biggest misconception about health and wellness is time. People think they don't have time, and they make that their main excuse, Chris. So when you look at a person's life, right, and they're highly stressed, stress is the number one killer in the U.S. and probably in the world. And there's two major things that create stress. Number one is health, right, and then the other is money. Mm-hmm. So if you have a better, healthy body, mind, spirit, you're going to be able to create more money. And then you're going to eliminate the two major stresses that are killing people out there. Mm-hmm. The misconception of time. There's a thing that I talk about often, and I'm not a Michael Jackson fan at all, but that's when I read the lyrics, "Man in the Mirror," it resonated with me back in 2000, and I think it was 2010 or so when I really read the lyrics.
Were they playing it in bold back then? They were. I think so. Before they had to take it out.
It's 100%. That's where it came from, Chris. 100%. And as a former team leader for 10 years, I believe that leading by example. So when I talk to people and I'm coaching them and I'm even working with teams in consulting, I always say, pick up your phone and look in the mirror. Go to the mirror and look at you. Would you hire you? Do you love you? What can you improve on? And write all those things down. What do you like? What do you dislike? Write all that down. And now there you go. There's your whole working plan for the next 90 days.
Yeah. Starting with yourself. Yeah. That whole time thing, it is pretty funny. I mean, everyone is so highly scheduled, and they see an empty space in your calendar. And look, I came from the KW world, and if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And when you look at someone's calendar, what is it loaded with? Oh, look how much green is on my calendar. I'm making so much money. Well, I'd rather work 10 hours a week and, only make 70%. I'm good. I'm okay with that. So, I'm a man of leisure, so I get this at a high level. So tell us about this event. Somebody walks through the doors of this event. What should they expect? What happens when someone walks through the doors of this event?
So first of all, Tom doesn't know this yet, but I put on a show. Okay. It is an entire immersive experience. And it looks like, my grandma always says, champagne taste and beer pocket. So it looks like this is a $1 million bar mitzvah. It's not. I also, the fun and everything like that. We have so many networking opportunities and times in between where everyone is going to get the chance to meet one another, interact. And, every time I call someone personally and say, hey, you really need to come to this event, I cannot put into words that I know when Susie Smith meets John Joe, the sparks are going to fly. Like, I already know all these people meeting. Some people I know need to hear Tom speak. Some people, wait till you guys hear Christina Gambino, who's been on American Ninja Warrior 4 times. Talk about a breakthrough. It's like, Rudy. Like, she's absolutely amazing. And what I love about this is it's also not simply real estate focused. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Hearing Ricky Carruth, hearing Mike Benton, seeing especially Jamie Seneca and Brittany Boatwright, they're another set of speakers that is going to make the roof blow up. So anyone's going to get inspired, and somebody is going to take away something different than everyone else, and other things are going to resonate. I'll finish this with saying, when your mom tells you 500 things and and then someone else tells you the same thing, and your mom, or sometimes your coach Tom, says, Shari, I've been telling you that. I'm like, oh, well, I liked it better when this person said it. So when hearing these people, I bet you every person is going to pick up something, and something's going to resonate differently for everybody else.
So you mentioned that it's everyone's going to get something out of it. It's not just real estate agents. So who is this event for? Anybody that might want to check it out that's not involved with real estate, really as a person, not business wise, who is this event really for?
Man, I would tell you this: if you want to become a better version of yourself, get in the room. That's it. You want to be you want to grow in leadership, get in the room. You want to hear stories of overcoming, get in this room. See, we all have stuff in our past that hold us back, like anchors in the water that are sinking us every single day. And the problem is we just don't know how to release that. All we have to do is just unhook it, and we can swim to the top. But we're held back because of all the negativity in the world. If you are looking to become a better version of yourself, a better business person, a better leader, you will grow in that room, period.
So Tom, that's a great segue, because we've also learned by doing these events that we are giving back. We're giving back to the attendees, to the agents, to the sponsors. However, we are giving back to a 501c3. Dr. Carrie Elk treats trauma in active duty members as well as veterans. We're having a successful real estate panel filled with veterans to see, first of all, what was their breakthrough. Some of them are going to discuss their trauma, but also how, being in the military, I always see that these women and men who have such a rigid schedule. Chris, everyone's always trying to get me to have. I know you don't like that either, but they take that from what they learned in the military, translate it into business, and they're extremely successful. And Dr. Carrie Elk, she's out of Tampa. Her nonprofit, they fly in the service member, and again, without drugs or lobotomies, put them up, treat them, and send them on their way. And she treats the trauma. So hearing what she has to say, that is going to be amazing. And it costs $5,000 to sponsor one service member. And they have to fly under the radar because they can't have on their file, I've had treatment, and sometimes it's just one simple little thing. So we're trying to raise money to sponsor at least one. And then, the more the merrier. So underneath this whole event is also this spectacular 501c3 as well.
I love starting charities that then people will donate money to then pay me to do the work. I love that. I think that's the greatest thing ever. Maybe I'll look into that. But that's like you said. I'm not against planning or scheduling. I'm against autopilot and over scheduling all the magic out of your life. That's a different story though. So, what other kinds of businesses and practitioners are going to be there in the room?
Tom, let me take this one too, real quick. I just met this fantastic woman, Stacy. Check this out. She's one of the only certified and licensed, they call her the emergency renovator. She renovates kitchens and bathrooms, but you think, okay, so what? She's licensed in California, fires and earthquakes, Florida, tornadoes and hurricanes. And she pointed something out to me. When, God forbid, somebody has this devastation happen and they have, lucky them, we think, oh my God, they have an insurance check in their hand. We think, oh, great for them. It doesn't stop there. These people are just trying to figure out how to take a shower, where are they going to cook? She actually she's very Zen-like too. She actually also treats them. She's like, have you ever thought about moving your kitchen? They're like, what? She's like, how about having your dream kitchen? And they're like, no. And who wouldn't want that? So she helps not only design maybe something different for them, but gives them something to look forward to, and handles everything from architects to permitting and all of this after you've lost either everything or a significant amount of your home. So she's been gracious enough to sponsor. And Tom, we're also auctioning off an item for that. And
she's like a disaster relief specialist. Like she's like a personal, like a disaster relief concierge kind of. And she holds your hand.
For remodeling, yes, because there are disaster relief concierges. They would reach out to her, and she works with it.
On the remodeling side, that's a cool thing.
Chris, when you said what kind of businesses and stuff,
yeah,
I'll use a quick example. A roofer came to my event twice. He said, Tom, I've made more money from your events than I did from my daily sales.
Well, as a sponsor, or because he like the tools and
so
stuff?
The sponsorship was nothing compared to what he got out of the room.
Oh, that's
how
awesome.
To market better, how to market without paying for ads, how to connect with your social media avatar of who you need to target. What does that look like? How to do, many things. The door knocking, realtors talking about a door knocking. He goes, a simple, stupid thing. Obviously, a lot of them can't do door knocking. So a roofer, a health and wellness guy that does everything with peptides. I know a lot of that's FDA approved. He came up with massive amounts of ideas for social media marketing. Don't use a business page, use your personal page as a business page, because they want to know who you are too. Massive growth, right? An accountant came in there and he goes, Tom, I didn't know what to expect. And now my business is taken off because of how to market and versus overcomplicating the process. So, Chris, that's what any business going in there, such as a mover, so any business whatsoever, our world is ever changing. And if we want this much success, we have to become that person. So why not get in a room with someone who's already up here, letting them share their ideas on how they got there to create an easier path to get there.
Yep. Somebody that got the bumps and bruises before, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's people don't realize that one of the best investments that you can spend on yourself and your education in your business is education. It's education, is coaching, is consulting, is getting better. I mean, these are all things that shorten that path. You can get there, but how long is it going to take you? How many bumps and bruises are you going to get? And for me, I'm a stickler for time, man. I want to spend as least amount of time on something as possible. And there's no better way to do that than learn about it. And by the way, is it possible that you might learn about something and then say, now I know what's involved, I don't want to do that. Now you can make an educated decision in hiring somebody to do it for you. That leverage. You know? I mean, you're talking a lot about, so it seems like there's a little bit of a marketing component in there where all of the people there's going to be like, hey, by the way, here's what I do. And there's a little bit of a marketing component in there about being a better marketer, which, by the way, applies to any business. And then when you find out what's involved, what do you actually want to do with regards to your marketing? I mean, I know, it's crazy. I got this book that came out for me, and it's the first thing that I'm doing outside of the business world. And it's like, hey, where do I start? And really zoning in on what I actually want to do. I want to do the effort I want to put in and the work I contribute to it, and what I want to hire out. And that's and learning about that stuff has been super, super valuable. But it sounds like it's good for all businesses. I mean, I feel bad for any roofer in Florida.
We don't have a roofer. Roofers out there. We still need a roofer. So we need a moving company.
We just hired a roofer. We're doing our floors. We redoing our floors, did some work in there. Man, my house is upside down. And then the roof is going to happen after that. Maybe I'll ask if you want a roofer. I got some people I can talk over there.
It's a massive opportunity because here, you look at a roofer, and I could go real deep dive in this. When they need to sell, they don't. Who's got 30 to 100 grand in the bank to put a new roof on a home, right? So they have to sell the home so much less because needs a roof. So I'm an investor. I'll buy the home because you can't get insurance with that old roof. They're paying at closing, right? So this is where we see a problem in the industry. Sellers can't sell because they can't afford to buy roofs, or the buyer can't buy whatever. Create the solution.
Sure.
And but yeah, you can have one of the most amazing products. You can have the best book in the world that's going to give people the best opportunity of growth. But if we're not a marketer, it's not getting out there.
Yeah. You got to you can be the best realtor in the world. You can be the best anything. And if there's not the right eyeballs, don't get on it. And then there's another component to that. I mean, I always make fun of my sister. My sister has an HVAC company up in Long Island, and she hates all of her customers. But she donates a lot of her time, and she hates her customers. My sister has a hard time charging people that she likes. She's like, I'll take money for stupid stuff. I'm not going to charge people, because I'm the exact opposite. I only want to work with people that I like and love. And I do work that I absolutely adore. And I created this work for myself. And I encourage her to do the same thing. And she's like, no, I'll just continue to donate my time to Meals on Wheels and do all these different things. And she's like, I'm like, but I hate that you hate your customers. And I had a real estate client like that one time. She worked with all these investors, and she hated them. And I said, well, why do you keep saying yes to them? So in all this marketing, and it is a numbers game, be careful who you say yes to, and find the right people. And if you're attracting the wrong kind of people, maybe there's something not right about your message. Like my girlfriend's reading my book. She's in Europe, and she's like, oh, you said some things in here that might not be popular with some people. I said, might not be, but you know what? Those are not my people. I love to put filters up there. And I love, like you, Tom, I take on that 30-minute strategy session, and we're interviewing each other. So I talk to them about their business to see if we're a fit to work together. And sometimes you got to say no to people, and judge a business by who they say no to. I mean, you go to a restaurant or a place like that, and you got a place with good vibes. They're probably attracting the right people, But I like that. I like that you're talking about the marketing. Everything kind of lives and dies on marketing. And I had a client that started a marketing company, a young kid, 20 years old. And he started a Go High Level based marketing company. He specializes in working with roofers. He charges him $3,000 a month. 1,500 of that goes to ad spend, and he absolutely crushes it with roofers. And this kid is making a killing. And he's like, "Thank you so much, Chris. I never wanted to go to college." And that's a cool thing. And roofers of all people. And he did research. He's like a nerd. I have another buddy that has a similar company with real estate agents. And here's the challenge he's having now. He has a pay on close model. So the realtor's paying for their own ad spend, generating leads, and then he has a team of ISAs following up and passing it over to the agent. He takes a referral fee when the deal closes, and now you know what happens. You know what happens, Tom. They're not closing things. So now he's paying me a small ransom to come in there and help people close things. And that's just the challenges that are out there. With now you have marketing, now you're getting people, now you're getting leads. Internet leads are not all great. It's like panning for gold, right? People are like, oh, remember Glenn Ross? The leads are weak. You're weak.
You're weak. That's exactly right.
Yeah. That's a good thing. But it sounds like you got a little bit of everything going up over there. So other than great speakers on stage and vendors and exhibitors out there on the floor, who else did you decide to invite?
Great question. You know what? I didn't have a thought in who was invited, but here's the thought that I did put out to the people that are either, and I call them sponsorship partners, because if it's not a win-win for both sides, and I guess you heard that quote before, win-win or no deal, right? So if it's not a win-win for both sides, we don't want your sponsorship money.
I got you.
Right? So invite as many people that you feel that's going to break through and elevate your business and your personal life. And that's what our logo is. Elevate your business and personal life. So that's exactly who our target person is, who wants to grow personally and in business.
And it's over, and tell us about the venue. It's over in Fort Lauderdale.
So I had a huge event there a year and a half ago. It's
Dania Beach.
Stage 954. And then this is the part I say, it's in the Dania Beach Casino. So once you go through there, through the orange, the venue's amazing. They have concerts there all the time. And that's what I like these things to feel like. It's not like a rally type thing, and it's not exactly a deep conference. So I have a happy medium. So I know Tom's never seen the space, but I was very kind to his brand. But it's still going to be super fun, and you're going to feel like you're part of, there's tables for sale in the front, tables of 10. So what we've done is we've called up our partners. I've been in real estate since 2003 working, and I'm very loyal. And I call up all my partners. I said, "You're buying a table." And they say, "Okay." So, and I said, "Fill it with whomever you want, and they're going to thank you." And then there's stadium, chair seating in the back, very comfortable. And then there's a happy hour afterwards so that there's more chance. And I always say that if I could put the sponsor tables in front of the bathroom, I would, because I don't want to have any sponsor have any agent walk past them. The sponsor partners, like I said, we have a huge responsibility to them. And so far between Tom and I, we've always honored them, and they've always felt appreciated and seen. That's the most important thing.
That's awesome. I think a great sponsorship opportunity is to be a bathroom attendant.
Yeah.
Somebody pays you $500 to stand in the bathroom, right? And be a bathroom attendant. Towel, sir, But tell us about the sponsorship opportunities and like what they get. I know like they get, you're talking about a table is one thing, for participants to sit at, for attendees to sit at. Then you're talking about an exhibitor kind of table.
Correct. So exhibitors, so we have, it's $2,500 to have an actual table where you can have all your, wares displayed. We're also encouraging that everyone have something to auction off for the charity. And then everybody gets this. So first there's the $2,500, then for $5,000, they get to speak for 5 minutes. And then for $10,000, I said they can have the event, but no. So the cool thing too is that we have media partners, and I tell them, we have 3 different types of media coming. We give all of that footage to the speakers and sponsors that are there, because that's a thank you gift, and some of it will be edited for them. And I also have directed the media specialists to interview the individual sponsors. Make sure you record all of their presentations that they do have on stage. And then we also, we give that back to them. We advertise, we have their QR codes, their logos. We advertise before, during, and then after the event as well. And make sure that, that everyone knows that these people, without them, we would not be able to have this event. And then, Chris, I don't know if I think I told you this. Tom thinks it's crazy, but we are auctioning off Ricky Carruth. If anybody, listen, $5,000 for Ricky Carruth to pick him up from Miami Airport. And, Waze says it's only a 45-minute drive. I don't think so. From Miami to Dania Beach is probably about an hour and a half. They get to be alone with him in the car. Have a one-on-one coaching session. You have Uber pick you up so you can interview him. And then they get to go on stage, talk about whatever they want to talk about, introduce Ricky, and then guess what? Drive him back down to the airport. All of that for $5,000. I don't know what Ricky charges.
Ricky, no, I'm kidding.
I know, right? He doesn't know yet.
Whenever I travel around the country and I'm on speaking, people are like, "Oh, can I take you to the airport?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." It's I did have one lady take me to the airport once. I agreed to it in Lexington, Kentucky, and she was very nice. She owned a brokerage and a real estate school and told me all about the bourbon. It was like the unofficial bourbon tour. But that's nice that Ricky's doing that. I do like Ricky a lot. He's one of the good ones out there in a world with many of these people leave a lot to be desired, especially when you meet them up close. And they're better to keep them as fictional characters, because I've shared the stage with a lot of these morons, and they're just they might be very charismatic, but they're not wonderful people. And I think Ricky's a good one. I'm glad you got him there. And that's I've been doing it a long time, so that's the deal. But it sounds like you got a good thing going.
When I spoke with Ricky, I kind of tricked him into this right at the beginning. I was at a real estate conference at EXP in Miami. He was in the gym. I was there, and I said, "Hey, Ricky, we know each other." And I said, "Hey, what are you doing April 30th? I got an opportunity for you." He says, "I'm in, but tell me what the purpose is." And I said, "Here's the purpose." He goes, "I'm in because I'm not going to speak unless it's a good purpose behind it." And then a week before, he goes, "Wait a minute, I didn't tell you about my speaking fee." I said, "I didn't think you had one." He goes, "It's X." I'm like, "Yeah, not for this one." He goes, "All right, you got me. Here, I just need you to pay my travel expenses."
Okay.
And we were in. But
hey, Tom, did you guys hear this? By the way, as a woman, they always tell us, they say, learn how to golf, because that's where all it's made. With Tom's crew, I'm not kidding. And there's also another famous YouTube guy that was talking to. He happened to talk to one of the higher ups in the company. Guess where? In the gym. They all talk in the gym. Now, here's my problem. I go to the gym, but you will not see me at the 5 o'clock in the morning crowd. And I think I'm missing out. I'm more of the 7 o'clock crowd. So I think I'm missing. But going to the gym and things is apparently how you get on stage.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have to go in the mornings anymore. I'm up at 4:30, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when I'm there.
Yeah.
It forces me to shut my day down, and it's my serenity to go home, right? I surrender everything to the gym, and I go home with clear mind.
Nice. So you're not doing that with cocktails, Tom, huh?
I replaced it 10 years ago.
Yeah, fantastic.
And wait, you know what Tom taught me? He really articulated it for me. I went to one of his presentations once, and he said, "Your non-negotiables." Yep. I always said the things you can't make me. I'm very stubborn, for those of you that know me out there. But what are your non-negotiables? And here's the key: don't feel guilty about making them. And the gym happens to be one of those for me, and I'm not going to change it.
Well,
I don't think we should feel guilty about anything, just kind of embrace your decisions and keep it moving, but everyone beats themselves up over things. And that's a lot of that stress Tom was talking about. It's just you replaying things that you're beating yourself up over. And I should do this. I should be this. I should do that. And it's, then they're robbing themselves of a delicious life. Yeah. Don't shit on yourself.
Don't shit on yourself.
I've heard that before. Can I do like a little rapid fire? Can I do like a little rapid fire with you guys? Throw things out there, and then okay, ready? Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Neither.
Morning workout or evening workout?
Evening.
Morning.
One food you'll never give up?
Steak.
Chicken.
One wellness trend you think deserves more attention?
Legs.
Oh my God. I can't think of one.
Getting to the gym, maybe, Shari.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about one wellness trend that you think is completely overhyped?
One moment. Oh, I can't say that on live. I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
Shortcuts.
Tom?
I'm going to agree with you. Yeah, shortcuts for sure.
And how about your favorite guilty pleasure?
Ice cream.
Chocolate.
Okay, last one. What's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you guys?
My favorite, and it's funny, I feel like, and I think you live different lives. I had a motorcycle in my 20s and I bought it myself. And I used to ride motorcycles, and that's actually how I met my husband. He had the old man's Harley and I had the crotch rocket.
Like it.
Yeah, I went to school at Viola Davis. No big deal.
Oh, nice. That's cool. High school, like grade school?
She was a couple of years ahead of me. Yeah, high school.
Oh, that's cool. What a fantastic actress too. So let me ask you this. If you fast forward to we're talking again the day after the event, and it was a huge success. What happened that made you look at each other and say, we have to do this again?
Just that. What the people there, not just the audience, but what everybody got out of it and gets out of it, and Tom, I'm sure that's what propelled you and said yes when I asked you if I could do this one.
Yeah, Chris, that's a great question, because here's the thing. We have an obligation to help others in situations that they're in need of, right? And I believe all people need to be in these rooms. So I don't look at the cost and the income. I look at the purpose and the influence, right? If we do this again quickly in another area, this is going to impact them like it just impacted the Orlando, the Fort Lauderdale. So money will follow when we deliver value.
Yeah, I love that. Gary Keller once told me, if you're able to do it, you have a social responsibility to do it. And which is funny because he said that because I was saying that I have a low economic drive, which is not something you want to say to GK.
No.
But I mean, I really appreciate that. And by the way, I did post a link here on if wherever you're watching it, you could click on that link to get tickets. And if somebody's interested in sponsorship or getting involved in a way that's not buying tickets, how do they learn more about that?
Shari, you got it.
Yep. So it's everywhere. It's out there. It's on Facebook. It's on all sorts of social media. You could contact us through here. Everybody, plus the people who are speaking are advertising it everywhere. By the way, biggest thing, brokerage agnostic. Hello. We have more Keller Williams agents signed up right now than our own brokerage. So
Keller Williams agents are notoriously fans of training and events.
100%.
I mean, I had 3 offices, and the events. Everyone always came. I called. They love that stuff. I wish the production reflected the amount of training.
Were you an OP?
Huh?
Were you an OP?
I never wanted to be an OP, but I did. I was a team leader, and then I launched 2 other offices. I recruited OPs to be OPs, but I just wanted to stay an investing team leader.
I was a team leader in 4 market centers.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you had no team leaders there. You were team leading over 4 market centers at the same time.
2 of them at once, and then the other 2 were individuals fail-in markets. Okay. I've had in-person, face-to-face that I generated on my own over 3,500 sit-down appointments.
That's amazing. Yeah, I've recruited over 1,000 people, but so probably if I had that'd probably be around that many appointments.
Probably be the same, yeah, 30%ish. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And then a conversation with my coach led me to say, "Peace out, TLKW." So it's all good. But I get that, man. It's a good world. But yeah, that's good fertile ground, and I think now we're COVID's a long bit behind us, and people want to get back out there and see each other and, have these in-person events and experience that energy that events like this is offering. And I'm glad you guys are bringing it. And I'm glad in the world of virtual real estate brokerages where everybody's looking to pay the least amount of money, that you guys are still bringing opportunities like this for people to plug into.
100%.
Absolutely.
Virtual real estate, where everyone was like, COVID happened, virtual real estate brokerages exploded, and everyone's like, oh, I can live on Zoom for the rest of my life. But you know what? The in-person events are still, even for me, are more well attended than. Why are people paying? I was in Montana. I did one event in Montana on Zoom. They save a lot of money that way. It's expensive to get me from Palm Beach to Montana. Like just the flights alone were like $1,200, and why? But the one I went to Montana and it was more well attended than the virtual one.
Yeah,
I think you get more influence and motivation live and more commitment to the opportunity because there's too many distractions in front of us being virtual.
That's true. It's and there's something about being around other people, man. Just in the same, the same vibrational frequencies in the room. It lends to something. But I'm glad you guys are doing this. Thank you so much. Again, the link is there, and you can comment on any one of these. I'm sure Shari or Tom will get back to you, and we're gonna make some small videos out of this. It'll be a lot of fun. And Shari, I'm gonna give you some books. You want some books?
Yes, guys. Chris is going to give his book. I'm going to use the initials, Spontaneous AF. Use your imagination for what that's for. In my private life, I'd say it, but not right now. And Chris is this person. Chris, I think I've known you for as long as almost 8 years, I would say. And all the changes and watching you grow too and teaching me how to be a little more spontaneous is awesome. So
I'm glad you're doing it.
No, thank you. We're going to give away those books. And Chris, I'm going to say it live right now. You're coming to the event too, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to stop there. I have 3 events in the evening that, because amongst other things, I do own an events company. I have 5 different companies, right? Because I get bored. That's how my life goes. But I do have an events company, and I have 3 events that evening that, and I have to be at one of them. But I'll come during the day. I'm going to stop during the day. I talked to Erin yesterday. Actually, she's over in Spain right now. And she said, I was trying to explain the event to her, but I couldn't get past her saying, oh, I love Shari. How's she doing? So that's, but we'll be there. We'll stop there.
Tell your is it your girlfriend, fiance over there?
Girlfriend. Yeah, we won't get married again.
Daughter's there for 2 months. She loves Spain. I hope she comes back.
Yeah, she's there for 2.5 weeks. She's there with her mom and her sister-in-law. They went they started in Rome, and then they took a cruise from Rome, stopped at Florence. They went to France. Now they're in Spain. They're finishing in Portugal on a cruise, and then they'll be back. So they might go to Turkey afterwards. Who knows? But yeah, she's like Spain, the best out of all 3 countries so far. She's in Barcelona today. So let's see.
Yeah, my daughter, yep, that's where she is. Barcelona's been in all those locations too. Every weekend she goes to a different, Rome, Italy, Portugal. Every weekend she's traveling somewhere different.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got to get out there. Everyone, so look at that. Tom said it. Travel more.
Travel more.
Life better, life more delicious. Stop putting it off to someday. If you're on the fence about this event, feel free to reach out with some questions. Otherwise, just go ahead and click that link there and get yourself a ticket. If you're interested in sponsoring, you can reach out to Shari, I guess, or Tom, maybe whoever responds. Just you guys are very easy to get in touch with and very accommodating. And thanks for popping on today. Is there anything that I'm not asking you that you want to leave people with?
No, first of all, for me, thank you for saying my name right. Fellow Long Islander, everyone else, my mom wanted to know when my name became Shari, and my kids don't hear the difference. So I love when you say my name, Chris.
How else would you say it?
Everyone calls me Shari.
That's
cool. Shari.
No, Chris, say my name.
Shari.
There you go. And then they go Shari. I'm like, forget it. Whatever.
You're welcome. Listen, I get people butcher my last name all the time. You know when you go to a speaking engagement, right, Tom? People hire you, and then they have the sponsors, the mortgage people or the title people. That part of their sponsorship, they get to introduce you. Without fail, some boring ass mortgage person comes over to me and says, "How do you say your last name?" And I say, "Just say Coach Chris, please. Just don't be wrong with the last name." No. How do you say it? Abazis. They're like, Abazis. Okay, then they go up and introduce you, and they're like, "We're welcoming to the stage, Chris, by Bezos." And I'm like, "Oh man, I told you not to say it, And now I got to walk up on stage and tease you, and I say, I told the guy, I know you guys love this guy. Must be great at mortgages because he sucks at listening.
Well, that's the thing, like we talked about earlier, overcomplicating everything, right?
Now, hold on. In my defense, my last event, we had actual Olympic gold medalists come to the event. And I picked this guy that won the Olympics for sailing, and he was Swedish. Okay, the first 6 letters of his name were consonants. And I kept practicing, and I gave up, and I blew it, even with the teleprompter. I just couldn't do it.
Olympic gold medalist. Here you go.
That happens. Yeah. That happens. And it's some people listen. I say, hey man, don't even worry about it. It's I don't even like intros. Intros are so dumb. Don't you feel funny when people are reading like your intro before you go up there? You're like, well, okay, so.
Hey, I'm going to be doing that.
I know.
Short, simple, and relevant. That's it. Short, simple, and relevant.
Are funny. My agent, she's always like, you got it. She's like, oh, I'm sprucing up your intro. Can you approve it for me? And I'm like, listen, just whatever. I don't even like reading about myself. I don't like intros. I don't like people saying it. And then I tell people, don't worry about the intro. They're like, well, it's part of my sponsorship. All right. Well, it's just always, I just always think it's a funny thing, man, but it makes sense. The amount of egos that are in this industry. It's
but if you make it funny, I called Leo Pareja a Jedi Master. He looked at me like that.
I like it. Yeah. No, look, man, for me, humor is everything. You know that if you can't laugh at it, it's not worth saying, right? So that's the thing. Not everybody is funny or understands that kind of humor. But
I got nicknames for everybody, Chris. When I'll go Leo P. And they don't, if they don't like it, it's nothing personal to me. It's their own.
Oh no! Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Is that how you remember people's names sometimes, Tom? Like by their nickname?
I do, man. It's everyone's got a nickname, even my kids, my wife too.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, and I think everybody should, man. And nicknames.
So that means you're in your inner circle if we have a nickname. So if we don't, that's bad. All right, I get it.
I won't
well, nicknames, like think about it, because you get named when you're a newborn baby. You're not even like a person yet. You have no personality, and then somebody just chooses the name for you at random. But a nickname comes after you've developed as a human being, after you've got certain traits or qualities. So a nickname is almost more appropriate. It's more you and more meaningful. My name is Christopher Emmanuel, which means bearer of Christ, God with us. I told my parents, boy, did you get the wrong guy.
Mine means princess, so sorry, it works.
Woo! That's right, Princess Shari. Well, thanks again, guys. Anything you want to leave us with?
Go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm looking forward to everyone participating in this. Don't think you have to be a realtor or a lender. If you're looking to grow in every aspect of your life, be there.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, you've got a great lineup, and the link for the tickets is there. And hopefully we will see you at that event. Peace out, everybody.
All right. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.